This is the story of the gruesome execution and cover-up of the first king of Hungary's cousin. I'll be honest, it's really hard not to make Game of Thrones comparisons. István, or Stephen, was the first Christian king of Hungary and is maybe the most important figure in Hungarian history. Coronated in 1001, István tried to unify Hungary under Christianity, outlawing pagan customs and building churches across the kingdom. This led to a series of pagan rebellions, and if that wasn't tumultuous enough, both of István's sons died, leading to a succession crisis. István's cousin Vazul had the best claim to succeed the king, but this was disregarded in place of another successor. It's hard to get a lot of information about Vazul's life and execution, but historians George Jorfi and József Gerich have suggested that Vazul may have been sympathetic to the pagan uprisings at the time, and his wife's name Tatun may have been a translation of the Turkic title for first wife of the Khagan. It's speculated that Vazul and his wife may have been pagans at the time of their marriage, and that Tatun may have even participated in some of these pagan uprisings. But regardless, someone didn't want István's cousin to succeed him. The 13th century chronicler Simon Kezai writes that Vazul was imprisoned, and feeling his powers slipping away from him, István sent messengers in haste to make Vazul the king of the Hungarians after himself. However, as soon as István's wife got wind of this, she hatched a plot with a group of traitors and sent a count ahead of the messenger, who had Vazul's eyes put out and molten lead poured down his ears. When Vazul was brought back, King István wept bitterly at his fate, Kezai writes, but it's debatable the degree of culpability István may have had with this execution. It was through Vazul's son Bela, which came the following stable line of Hungarian monarchs for the rest of the Arpad dynasty, after nearly a century of medieval infighting. Chroniclers, however, wanted to underplay the fact that the Hungarian line came from the possibly pagan Vazul, who was sentenced to death by the foundational king of Hungary, so lineage was traced to Vazul's brother Laszlo the Bald instead. However, early records referenced in many of those chronicles indicate that yes, his sons were in fact Vazuls, and now historians generally accept that Vazul, who was allegedly blinded and melted for insurrection, is the line from which many generations of following Hungarian kings came from. So call your cousin tonight, tell them you love them and would never blind them and melt their head off.